Hi there. Before we dive in, I'd really appreciate any feedback on the direction of this channel. I really want to make content that people want to see. I want to try to help people, whatever, you know what I mean? But thank you, everybody who's watched this far. Let's just get into it. I think pride is making you broke. Pride is a peculiar thing. I think people use the word in many different ways, but it's just, one of those things, you know it when you see it. The way I think about pride personally is that you just think really highly of yourself. It's just basically you're just thinking you're better than someone or something because of some reason you have. Before I get into it, I'm not judging anyone. I struggle with pride myself. It's just everybody, I think, struggles with it on some level. But pride is bad, period, on all levels. I can't think of anything you'd gain that actually benefits you, anything like meaningful. Some, I assume, would argue that pride is good because it makes you feel good. Some would say that high self-esteem from pride is good because then you'll accomplish things and it would feed back into itself. It seems almost counterintuitive to say that that's a bad thing, but I believe that it is a trap because pride, what does it actually get you? Not a whole lot. Like monetarily, it's just good feelings. And I'm quite sure 100% if you just drop pride from your life, that you would just immediately start making more money, no matter what you're doing. You know what I mean? First off, I'd argue pride is a lie. You're not better than anyone. And even if you are, it doesn't matter. You also can't be better than everyone at all times, or anyone at all times. It's impossible because we get sick and we have to poop. You can't tell me that almost anyone couldn't beat LeBron James at basketball if he's on the toilet with diarrhea and puking on himself at the same time because he ate some ribs that were sitting out on the counter all day. So trying to maintain pride is a lie most of the time, and it leaves you operating on frameworks that just aren't true. And since you're operating on untrue frameworks, you more likely than not, that'll get in the way of you making money. That'd be like an airplane pilot who believes in the flat earth, wasting everyone's time and money because he doesn't believe in the Great Circle route. If you just think about it, pride is thinking highly of yourself, but who are you? You know what I mean? Like, we are all just mists and fogs that come into existence and then we're gone. If you compare like a human life to all of existence, we're nothing. We're just a grain of sand. There's so many people better than you, and there's so many people that are better than you that aren't even close to being the best. People are being born every day. There's billions of people now, but how many more billions of trillions of people will there be? We can read today, but most of humanity couldn't read a couple thousand years ago. Could you imagine the person who invented deep fried chicken walking around like he's hot shit, but that person probably couldn't even read? Or I don't know. I'm just making up some random hypothetical. I'm not I don't know. I'm just imagining this character, he's from the feudal ages and he's the first person to discover cooking oil. So he deep fries chicken and then he's like, I'm the greatest thing that happened since whatever, but he can't read. I'm quite confident that, nobody cares who made fried chicken. But the most important thing in this scenario is that imagine how much this type of situation holds you back financially. What did you gain? Besides feelings of grandness or satisfaction, what did you actually really gain? If you try and accomplish something and then feel good from it, that's cool. But to go really anywhere beyond that doesn't actually make you any money or do anything for you. You know what I mean? Furthermore, when you're full of pride, you're essentially telling your brain, hey, I'm good. There's no need to improve here. You may think that that's not true, but when you think you're hot shit, you are doing that intentionally or unintentionally. I cannot tell you how many times that I was trying to accomplish something and then did, gain a new skill at work or something like that. I just get that feeling of being invincible, being elite, or whatever, And then next week, I'm still on cloud 9. I've been running my mouth talking mad shit to everybody, saying I'm cool as heck. And then it all comes crashing down because some new experience I've never seen before just completely takes me for a ringer. And then all the people I was talking crap to, they saw that. So, I mean, you can't take that back. And that, just damages your pride. So then you have to work harder to, bring it back and try to maintain that. So, again, when you think you're hot shit, your brain hears that too. when you keep reinforcing an image of yourself that you're really cool or awesome or whatever, your brain starts to believe it. So it stops adapting to your environment. And when it stops adapting, it gets soft. If you don't use it, you lose it. Have you ever seen somebody in a wheelchair, crippled, with huge legs? Your brain, from what I've experienced, more or less operates in the same exact way. Like, if I spend time not really doing anything, I feel like a big pile of mush. But like, if I'm going through a bunch of stressful things constantly, I feel like I have to stay on top of everything to just like exist. Your brain needs to be challenged, and it can't really get that way if you've already got the world figured out. I feel like the more you embrace pride, you're just going to get dumber over time. It's like a block that like prevents you from seeing the world, like seeing reality for what it is. And then it just stops you from growing. So I hope I've established that pride isn't true, doesn't cause any real gain, and is causing you cognitive atrophy. Now I would like to make the case for humility, the real moneymaker. The way I look at humility is that essentially I'm a piece of shit, to put it plainly. I used to be depressed and miserable because of this framework, and society did a really good job of reinforcing this idea in my head. They ostracized me a large majority of my life. Being a little baby aside, I'm actually really thankful for this. I cannot thank the callous of American culture enough, because, to put it cringely, it pressed me from charcoal to a diamond. I was a frail, sensitive little boy. I was beaten every time I tried to stand up, physically and emotionally, a lot. I was never given outside validation from anyone. I still have a lot of baggage from this, but what it did was force me to try to gain that validation from everyone around me. I was never good enough, so I always just worked on everything. I worked on my physique. I learned to dance. I became funny. I learned to speak. Don't take my YouTube as an indicator of this, considering I'm still like super cringe. But I'm trying, I'm still trying. I'm a try hard. I farmed harder than my brothers. I busted my ass in all my jobs my family would constantly put me on. Roofing, trenching, laying pipe, construction, demolishing, demo jobs and stuff like that. Just whatever they needed. I was just always there, always on. Never say no. I never say no. Even if I had zero chance of succeeding, I still couldn't say no to people. I was constantly hunting for any shred of validation. I was always competing with everyone, because everyone was better than me, because they were a part of a group that I wasn't allowed to be in. So I felt like if I could start out competing people, I'd finally be included, because I was like earning my place. I did everything I could to copy the best of the best, which was everyone, and every little thing I could keep my attention on, and then I just kept growing. So I'm 30 now. I'm a high school dropout, but every single labor force I enter, I am in the top 1% of the staff. Granted, I'm not like a doctor or anything like crazy, but I've just worked at enough like different factories and retail stores and stuff like that. So I'm not saying like I'm necessarily competing against high performers, but enough people, and then I'm placing in the top 1%. It's something. People have said to me so many times that I'm so smart, but are complete disbelief that when I tell them I didn't even finish high school. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to like point out the utility of like being humble. I feel like this happened because I was humble, not because I was cocky or anything like that. Like years and years of just growth, of obsessively just obsessing over everything. Unhealthy tendencies and my inferiority complex aside, like, can you not understand the immediate opportunities that are presented in this mentality versus somebody who thinks they're better than everybody? I understand, on one hand, you have like a prideful attitude, which makes you, this huge asshole, arrogant person. And then what I just described, it would just be the opposite direction of the dysfunction. But on this side of the chain, like monetarily, I would argue that this is 100% more beneficial to think that you are, sort of human garbage than it is to think that you're better than everybody. But like, for instance, the people who talk crap about like Tom Brady, but they can't run a mile. More or less, the moral of the story is to embrace being a piece of shit. It's okay to suck at everything. It's stupid to judge everyone on whether they're good at something or not in the first place. That includes yourself. Babies can't do anything, but people still value them higher than any adult most of the time. Their value is intrinsically based on their ability to do things well, so you shouldn't be valuing yourself on your ability to do things well. Or like in a prideful state where you're like, I'm better than you, you're better than me, but, or no one's better than me because I'm the best or whatever. You know what I mean? So I would just like, you don't believe me, I would just go try it. I would just get honest with yourself, get in front of a mirror and just say, I'm a piece of shit. You know, start to look at your life realistically, bring yourself down. And I'm pretty sure that if you have like a lot of pride and you drop them walls, your brain will just immediately start to sense danger from like perceived threats that it couldn't even like perceive. And it would just start generating solutions to those challenges that it would just try to overcome that it didn't see before. So I would say embrace humility and then start acquiring skills. Skills translate into work. Work translates into jobs. With jobs comes more skills, more work, more money. Drop pride. Embrace being a piece of shit. So, in summary, folks, pride is not only a deceptive lens through which to view ourselves in the world, but it's also an anchor that weighs down our potential for growth, learning, and financial success. It's a false narrative that leads us down a path of missed opportunities and cognitive stagnation. On the other hand, embracing humility, recognizing that we are all works in process, fuels our drive to improve, compete healthily, and ultimately excel. It's in this humble state that we open ourselves up to learning, adapting, and acquiring valuable skills that can enhance our earning potential. So, shed the burden of pride, adopt a mindset of constant growth, and channel your energy into tangible personal and professional development. Embrace humility, embrace growth. If this helps anyone, that's really all I'm hoping for. Sorry it's not the best quality. I'm still trying. I'm still new to this. I'm still really like just tripping over myself trying to record this stuff. But I just really want to like get the content out there and just keep going. Because I'd like to help, help and just really get into this to see if this is what I'm about. Or if I'm made for this, you know what I mean? So if you like this, please subscribe and, have a good day.